Haviland Planning Board. Today is January 13th, 2025. We do have one public hearing, so we will begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Could you all rise? Jimmy, could you lead us in the pledge? Thank you. Let's take the attendance.
Patrick Halpin.
Present.
Julianne Nolan. Gerald O'Neill.
Present.
Ed Wynn.
Present.
Juan Leon.
Present.
Frank Santos. James Vaccaro. Matt Esposito. Rich Casey. Oh, Greg Gaxiola. So sorry.
That's it?
That's it. You got your
Okay, we have a quorum. Before we start the public hearing, I'm required to read the statement into the record that the planning board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant at the public hearing. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the planning board may determine that any approvals, building permits, or other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void. You want to read the...
Public hearing, major subdivision, job 2341C, MR Property Builders LLC. Purposes to subdivide 2 parcels into 9 in order to construct 9 new single-family dwellings.
Okay, who's here on behalf of the applicant?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell, Blanda & Visconti with offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
Okay, please proceed. But before you do, the Commissioner of Planning, Denise Graziano, issued a memo regarding this application dated January 7th, 2025. Have you had the opportunity to review this memo and go over it carefully with your client? And does your client have any issues, any concerns that they would like to bring to our attention regarding the memo, any of the restricted covenants, or any of the other issues raised in the memorandum?
We have no issues. We've reviewed them and we have no issues.
So you're fine with all of the conditions?
Single family, owner occupied, yes, all the conditions, all the covenants.
Okay, please proceed.
Okay. I'm here tonight on behalf of MR Property Builders LLC. They are the contract vendee for this property, so they've been in contract to purchase the property for quite some time. The board might be familiar with this property as you have seen this property a couple of times prior to tonight with other proposals. And I just want to briefly talk about the history of that. This way the board kind of sees how far this project has come, and to emphasize that tonight our application are for single-family homes, owner-occupied, and they're for sale. So these are not rentals. But previously, back in 2017, there was an application for a change of zone on this site from B to MR to allow for 40 apartments. While the planning board did issue a recommendation for that change of zone, due to community concerns regarding rentals, that application was withdrawn and redesigned. The applicant then came back before this board in 2019 with a condominium project. The concept behind that was that the condos would be for sale, would be owner-occupied, and at that time it was for 30 condos. Again, they did get a recommendation from this board for a change of zone. However, the town board decided not to take action on the application. As we understood, again, the community really wanted to see single-family dwellings here. And so then COVID happened, so the site kind of sat through 2020. And then in 2021, the applicant submitted to the planning department and the planning commissioner a preliminary subdivision map showing this design, showing a layout for 9 new single-family homes. And at that time, we were told that the planning commissioner and some planning staff would talk to the North Amityville Implementation Committee about whether or not they thought that this could be supported and would be a more favorable application, and we were told yes to proceed. And so that's what we're here on tonight. The job number is a 2023 job because it did take some time then to get the redesign of all the plans. So this property is located on 45th Street. It's comprised of multiple tax lots. It is vacant and wooded at this time. And as part of this application, we are proposing to abandon a portion of Prospect Street and purchase a sliver of town-owned property within that area as well. That is pending in the town attorney's office with Mr. Mayor, and I will find out where that stands, but that is in the works. This site, as I said, is vacant and wooded, as you can see. It has a history of a dumping problem. My client does have a crew every 2 to 3 weeks go out there and try to clean it up, keep it tidy, as the town has requested him to do so. The lot acreage for this site, if we include the portion that we're seeking to abandon, and the reason why I'm going to give you that lot area is because without that, it changes the entire subdivision. So we have 1.76 acres. The Prospect Street portion is about 5,300 square feet. The parcel is somewhat irregularly shaped. It does have about 324 feet of frontage on 45th Street, and then a width of about 408 feet. It's different depths on different sides. It is sewered. All utilities are readily available to this site. There's no wetlands and no environmental issues or concerns. We are proposing 9 new single-family homes within the zone of Residence B. The applicant, once he purchases the property, he would develop a road that would be called Clay Court, and that would be dedicated to the town of Babylon. So it is being designed according to town of Babylon specifications. Each new home that you see there would be single-family, owner-occupied, no accessory apartments, and then I believe there are about 10 other covenants and restrictions as well, including that the basements remain unfinished space. We believe this is a positive development of this property and would add much-needed single-family homes to the area, and they would be at modest sizes so that we would see different price points. These aren't McMansions, these aren't overly large houses that would, grab a higher price point. These are smaller homes that we're hoping would be for maybe a younger couple, someone just starting out, just a better price point than maybe what we're seeing right now on Long Island. It's an excellent location. We're adjacent New Horizons. That's a multi-res project that has seniors and also, I believe, a non-age restricted component as well. There's also the Water District next to us, and we're near New Highway. So we have ready access to the highway system. Only 2 of the proposed homes will have driveways on 45th Street, lots 8 and lot 9. The rest are going to access off of Clay Court, the new road. So for anyone worried about driveways coming onto 45th Street, only 2 of the 9 homes would be accessing onto 45th Street. 8 out of the 9 homes will have internal garages. The reason why 1 home will not is because we were trying to accommodate better setbacks, and the garage just didn't work for that lot. Each home is proposed to have 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and for the most part, an open floor plan. Again, the basements would be unfinished, and the applicant consents to the basement remaining unfinished as a covenant. That covenant runs with the land. Whoever purchases the home has to abide by the covenants and restrictions that will be imposed by not only this board, but presumably the Zoning Board of Appeals as well. The lot areas for the parcels range from 8,108 square feet being the largest, that's lot 5. The next largest is lot 6 with 7,056 square feet. And then we have about 5 lots that are between 6,365 and 6,876. And then there are 2 lots that are smaller at 5,278 and 5,284. We thought it would look a little odd if that one area that you see that fronts on 45th Street, having 10,000 or over 10,000 square feet, just had one house on it. The applicant was trying to, again, maximize, obviously, the square footage that is here. There's a lot of improvements that have to go in, the infrastructure for the road, and so that's why we have a layout for the 9 lots. Previously, again, the projects were very different, but this really is designed to hopefully address the community concerns that were raised as part of those prior 2 projects. And we, are hopeful that this could be a, project that could move forward in the near future. I believe there's some renderings or front elevations of the homes. I know we have neighbors here tonight. They might be interested to see what the houses will look like. They'll all be different. They'll all be different facades, different colors, similar to what the board would expect. This way, it's not cookie cutter, different style homes that will be, within Clay Court. So it'll be like its own little enclave. There you have like a 3D rendering kind of showing the homes. And again, we feel that given the location of this site, particularly that, we abut to a Catholic cemetery, the Suffolk County Water Authority, and a multi-res housing development that's there already. And then to the south, we have residential homes. This is a nice, I think it fits. It's a nice transition to have this subdivision there. And again, we know we have to go to the zoning board, obviously, for all the variances that are involved. So if the board has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Those are the floor plan layouts. The houses all kind of are slightly different in terms of whether or not they're deeper than they are wide, but they do all have 4 bedrooms.
Okay. What are the variances that you'll be seeking from the zoning board?
Do you want me to go through each lot?
That'd be fine.
Okay. Lot 1, we would be seeking to diminish the width at the front street from 80 feet to 51.44 at 45th Street, diminish the lot area from 10,000 square feet to 6,586 square feet. Then we would diminish the front yard setback from 30 feet to 25.7 at 45th Street. And then there's a second front yard at Clay Court, and we'd be seeking to diminish from 30 to 20.3. The rear yard setback, we'd be seeking to diminish from 40 to 20. And that's similar throughout the other lots as well. But some of them have less variances. So for example, Lot 2, we would be seeking to diminish the width at Front Street from 80. Now, that one, because of the way the driveway is angled and it does widen, we'd be seeking a front of 25.13. But obviously, as you can see, the lot then widens and spreads out and has a different depth. So that lot has an area of 6,876 square feet. That lot would require a rear yard variance as well from 40 to 20. Lot 3, we're seeking to diminish the lot area from 10,000 to 6,831 square feet. The front yard at Clay Court from 30 to 26, and again, the rear yard from 40 to 20. There's also apparently a front yard portico encroachment at Clay Court. Lot 4, we'd be seeking to diminish the width from 80 to 78.74, the lot area from 10,000 to 6,734 square feet, the front yard setback from 30 to 25, and the rear yard from 40 to 20. Lot 5, diminish the width at Front Street from 80. Again, this is similar to the Lot 2 situation where the frontage is narrow, it's 25, and then it widens to a lot area of 8,108 square feet, and diminish the rear yard from 40 to 22.9. Lot 6, we would be seeking to diminish the width at Front Street from 80 to 53.83, lot area from 10,000 to 7,056 square feet, front yard setback from 30 feet to 26.6 feet, and rear yard from 40 to 25.5. Lot 7, Front Street from 80 to 76.07, diminish lot area from 10,000 to 6,365 square feet, diminish the front yard setback from 30 to 25, and diminish the rear yard from 40 to 20.9. Lot 8, diminish the width at Front Street from 80 to 47.79. Now, These two, 45th Street and Clay Court, I actually think that there might be, it might be incorrect what we're being calculated at for our front street, because I don't think we were given any credit. The town has a longstanding policy of the curve, the radius, you give half to one street frontage and half to the other street frontage. So I don't think we're going to end up being these numbers, 47 and 35. I think we're actually going to be closer to 65 and maybe 55 and 60. So I have to go over that with the building department. And then this lot was one of the smaller lots, so going from 10,000 to 5278. And then there's a front yard setback because we have three different frontages, 45th Street, Clay Court, what they're calling Clay Court East and Clay Court North. And then there's a small building area variance on that one. Lot 9, diminished front street from 80 to 74.08 at 45th Street, 80 to 51.37 at Clay Court. Again, that's a similar issue I have to discuss with the building department. Diminish the lot area from 10,000 to 5284. And then we have front yard setbacks at 45th Street and Clay Court, diminishing from 30 to 19.1 and 30 to 15. These are at certain points, like some of the setbacks get wider as you go through the lot, and diminish the east side yard setback from 12 to 10 on Lot 9 as well. There's also a variance to allow the egress window well in the front yard at Clay Court West.
Okay. Thank you for going through that. We did have that in the memo, but I thought it would be helpful to all of us on the board and anybody, and the folks who are here to actually have you
Sure.
walk through it so we could look at it in conjunction with the site plan, so thank you. Do any of the board members have any questions at this time? Questions? No? Okay. Thank you. What's that? I know we've got some folks that would like to address the board regarding this application, so go ahead. Why don't you?
Manjit Josen?
Sir, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Yeah, my name is Manjit Joshan. My address is 165 45th Street, just one house away from that lot.
Okay, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please proceed.
Okay, well, I've been there for the last 25 years, almost. And I bought the house as a single family, all around. First, they wanted to make it 32 units, rental units. We objected to it. That it's going to build up the traffic. It's still going to build up with the 9 units. And these lots were 3 lots. They want to convert it into 9 units. The builder wants to maximize his profit on it, but it's going to ruin our neighborhood. You know, with all those 9 units, the traffic is going to be more, and it's not healthy for all of us living in that. We bought the house thinking that this is all single-family homes. You know, the traffic is too much. From Albany Avenue, go across the new highway. That is the only road everybody uses to go across. From 44, nobody goes. On 43 from Albany, they don't go. They all speed up. With all this traffic, with the 9 units, I think it'll be, we should go back to the 3 single-family homes to keep our neighborhood the way it is now. That's what my suggestion is. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any question you have for me?
Do any of the board members have any questions? No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ronald Walker?
Mr. Walker, could you please state your name and address for the record?
My name is Ronald Walker, 169 45th Street.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
I said the same thing Mr. Manjit said. I feel the same way too, is that our block has too much traffic on it. And I think that 9 houses is too much. And I see the other day, a car just came running right through the stop sign, 45 miles an hour. And to build this right there, I can see something happen, accident, kids getting hit. I'm scared about that. And I think, it's nice what they're trying to do, but it's not for our neighborhood. it's nice, but it's not for us. And I think we can think about it and try to bring it down a little bit, scale it down. That's my thoughts on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for addressing the board.
Gina Walker?
Good evening. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. I'm Gina Walker. I live at 169 45th Street in Copeg. I'm not opposed
Do you
to.
swear to, hold on, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
I do not oppose to this. I think that, increasing, our neighborhood and things of that nature is really good. However, same concerns with my husband and Manjit. We have grandchildren, we have children, we have family members and friends and neighbors, and my concern is that I've been trying to voice my opinion for like speed bumps or something to kind of make that strip safer because it is a throughway. Every day, I'm backing out the driveway. I have to stop short because someone's blowing the stop sign. So the concern is like more traffic, more people, a lot of more inconsistencies. We had kids before they had moved ride four-wheelers, came down Prospect and crashed my son's car in my yard. So, and I know I was a young family when we came. I moved in 2001. However, not everyone raises their kids the same or what have you. But we tried to have them be respectful towards our neighbors and things of that nature. So the concern is, who are we going to get as our neighbors? How many neighbors are we going to get? Again, I'm not opposed to it, but I do believe that it should be scaled down a little bit more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rosemary Deering.
Good evening, Rosemary Deering. It's good to see you.
Good evening, good to see you.
Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Rosemary Deering, 145 45th Street, Copeg.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
Okay. It seems like I've been here so many times for this particular thing. And I am on the North Amityville Implementation Committee. And I don't remember us accepting this 9 houses at all. I think I know COVID happened, and then we had nothing. We heard nothing about what was being done at all. I am not against new houses because we need them. We need houses for young people. We need affordable houses. But in that particular area, 9 houses with a kind of a cul-de-sac with another street coming out onto 45th Street is very dangerous. And I don't think that we need to have 9 houses there. 3, 4 houses would be fine. But that is a very busy street. We have had many accidents, and the accident she was talking about, the car actually went into her yard and then went across the street into another person's yard, and the kids were there on the street waiting for a bus. We need to talk, I think what happens is that people assume that they know what we want in our community. And instead of assuming that, they need to sit down with us whenever they decide to make changes, whenever they decide they want to do something differently, because we would more than love to sit down and talk about what we need in our community. So when people decide what they want to put into our community, please discuss it with us. Thank you.
Thank you. That is the last of our speakers who've filled that cards. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? Okay. It's okay. Did you get it, one of those, piece of paper? It's on there. You can fill it out after you speak, but please give it to Matt so we have all the correct information.
Okay.
Could you please state your name and address for the record?
I am Jadine White Santos. I am at 220 45th Street, Copiague, which is directly across from this proposal.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, please proceed.
I myself, I agree with everything what everyone has said. And I also moved here from Nassau County to Suffolk County as a young homeowner, my first time on a home, and a young family. And I do like the idea of having the houses. But once again, I am in agreement with everyone here with the amount being a lot. And I've seen accident, I've seen traffic, I've seen cars flying down so fast. There's one time I took my son out, we rode and we're coming back, and as I'm coming up the step, a car, and mind you, there's a stop sign there, a car flying over like at least 100 miles per hour, just speeding down. I just turned into my driveway, going up the stairs. My son was putting his bike in the back, so I'm turning around looking for him because of how fast they're going. I've seen it, the motorcycle things that they talk about, it's a heavy traffic. So I do agree that with having this amount of houses there, it's gonna cause more traffic. Again, I'm okay with the house. It's just, I feel like 9 is a little bit too much.
All right, please fill that out. Is there a pen up there?
Yes.
So if you want, is there anyone else that would like to address the board regarding this application? I see your hand up, right there, that little guy.
What do you have to say?
Okay, you're just scratching your ear, okay. No, I'm only kidding. All right, so take a moment and fill that out. Is there any other questions or comments from the board? No? Okay, well, hearing none. I'm sorry? Okay. Could you come back up? Thank you. You've heard the feedback from the neighbors.
Yes.
Obviously, they're very concerned about the speeding that goes on 45th Street, is that right?
Right.
45th
The
Street we're
town
talking-
traffic safety engineer did review the application.
And what were the
They
conclusions?
did not see any traffic issues with the 9 single-family homes. And that's I mean, it's not even our traffic engineer, it's the town's traffic engineer. I'm going to submit, just because, again, maybe there's a different process now, and I'd be, welcome to it going forward. But back in at least fall or winter of 2021, the process was we submitted to then Commissioner Shelfo, and she spoke with the North Amityville Implementation Committee, and I have an email saying that they had met. So, I just don't want it to feel like we didn't make that attempt, and this is what we were told. We were told to proceed. Not that we would get approved. Obviously, you have to go through the process.
Understood, thank you. So that's now part of the record. Any other comments regarding the number of homes and?
Well, like I said earlier, the construction of the road to town specifications, Clay Court, was done to have some of that, people coming in and out of driveways and things like that be within the enclave of that little community, and only having 2 driveways onto 45th Street. That was designed that way on purpose.
Matt, has the town's traffic safety department looked at the speeding on that street and considered any mitigating factors such as stop signs? And should stop signs be considered at the entrances of Clay Court? Okay, could you bring that to their attention, given I share the same concerns about the speed.
Yeah, I mean, we're open to that.
That goes on 45th Street, and if there are other measures that can be taken to mitigate that. Frank?
Question. Since 45th Street seems to be the issue, the two driveways that are entering and exiting onto 45th Street, is it possible for them to go onto Clay Court, or is that not possible?
I think we could. I mean, I don't see, even just looking at it right now, I don't see why we couldn't. I think it was more of situating the house a certain way, but certainly we could look at redesigning that.
Just a question to
Yeah.
talk about with Matt. And also, just out of curiosity, do you have a price point yet for what you're looking for these homes?
No, he hasn't done like a market test with local realtors yet. We were trying to see where we landed size-wise.
And by the way, I think Frank brings up a good point in terms of where the access to the driveway, because based on what we've heard
Sure.
and looking at that area and being familiar with it, I'm sure that there's a lot of speeding that goes on there. And if I had the option of living in one of those two homes, I would prefer to be able to get access to my home on Clay Court.
Rather than backing out. Certainly. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely room for that. That's definitely something we can look at.
All right, any other?
At this time, Ms. Blanda, you don't have a price for the homes.
Correct.
Julianne?
And this is two-way traffic on Clay Court?
Yes.
So would it help at all if it was one-way, like a circular, going in one way and out one way?
I don't know. I would ask the traffic
Consider.
safety and find out what they thought about it. But the road is to town spec, so the idea would be to have the two-way.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Juan?
So my question is, some of the frontage for some of these parcels are a little bit over 25 feet, is that correct?
Yes.
How does that, compared to other properties in the neighborhood, how does that compare?
It's a lot less.
A lot less?
Yes, but it's
Okay.
because it's by design, because in those
see.
two corner lots, it's widening because it's like a pie shape. So you're getting 25 feet of frontage in theory, but then that lot widens to a greater lot area and greater lot width. So it's not 25 feet throughout. So it's not like setting a precedent for a 25-foot wide lot, because how would you ever fit a house on that, right? So yeah, so it is distinctive, but it's unique to this design. You wouldn't find a 25-footer in the neighborhood with a house on it.
Okay. Understood, thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to have a motion to close the public hearing and reserve decision. Motion by Julianne,
Motion to close the hearing?
second by Ed.
Second?
All in favor? Okay, this hearing is closed. The decision, though, has been reserved in order for us to review the feedback that we've received this evening. And any open site plans, the record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or to submit additional written comments, you can contact the Planning Department in either of the following ways. In person, the Planning Department is located on the west wing of Town Hall. Application documents and plans are available for inspections between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or by phone, 631-957-3103, or via email, planning comments, that's one word, planning comments, at townofbabylon.com. Thank you very much. That closes our hearing. Pardon me? Yes. That is the only public hearing we're having this evening, so we will now go into